Welcome to far north Queensland, a place I never thought I would actually visit.
Why Cape York now, after not really caring about it for so many years? With filming content of the Cape York, are you worried about it being the same as everyone else's? How do you think the Quartermaster is going to go through some of the deeper water crossings?
Oh, the submarine!
For so many years I've been asked why I haven't done Cape York yet.
And truthfully, there's three main reasons.
Being in WA, you may be very well aware of the vast distances that WA people have to travel to get somewhere. It's 6,000 k's just to get to Cairns. Then from Cairns, you got to set your way to the Cape. That's another 1,000 k's. Hey lads, 1,000 k's, 14 hours. We'll be at the tip, 2 a.m. You. But by the time you get back, you've done 14 to 15,000 kilometres. It's a long bloody way away. When you don't have that much time and you've got to be here, be there, and you've got plans to go other places, Cape York often gets left off the map. Not only that, so many people have recorded it, so many people have made a story about it. Everyone films the same thing, everyone does the same thing, picks the same angles. It's always the same that you see. If you look on YouTube, how many other Cape York videos are there? Not as many as Fraser Island, but there's a shit ton on there.
Which leads me to the third reason.
60 to 80,000 people visit Cape York every single year. And you can't go there during wet season, so that's a lot of people in a condensed space of time. I generally go away to feel like I'm more isolated. Whoever we're travelling with, we got each other's back and all that. Doesn't feel the same when there's like 60 to 80,000 people. I don't normally drive like that. It's just that type of travelling that I prefer to do. It feels more adventurous being away.
Which begs the question.
Why Cape York now, after not really caring about it for so many years?
Because the car's in Queensland for a Brisbane show. So now I'm close enough to get there. And I am also wanting to take the car from Cairns to Broome doing the Savannah Way. Cape York is a bonus. What I'm solely here for is the Savannah Way, which I think will be more exciting than doing the Cape because I don't know much about the Savannah Way. Being this far from home, really have to maximise time. Speaking of maximising time, I lined up a shoot with Jamie Hazelden. We did a comparison between the 130 Defender and the Union Spirit Quartermaster. On top of that, managed to line up 3 mini cars. This is what happens when you follow Jimneys. They've disappeared, and my fat ass is trying to squeeze between all these trees. So Modify continues, but instead of 1 vehicle, 3 Jimneys.
With filming content of the Cape York, are you worried about it being the same as everyone else's?
A little bit, because so many people have done it. I feel like I know the whole track. I definitely know all the iconic crossings and that. However, having recently done the Canningstock route, I was worried that the whole thing was going to look the same. Everything I'd seen on the internet and everything I'd researched, it looked nothing like it in person. I came back with 7 episodes more than I thought I would have, and the Canningstock route completely blew me away. Oh my God, how's that feeling, a heavy troopy? Because of that, make my way towards Cape York. I think that's probably the main thing that I'm excited about. Is this is a massive challenge to make it different.
And the weather up here is definitely offering a helping hand.
We've had a lot of rain as we've been travelling.
Yes, we have. So I have a question. Why is it called the Sunshine Coast when we drove through there and all it did was rain?
Oh, the sun's coming out now.
I think this is the longest we've had the sun today.
Are you worried about the water levels at all?
A little bit. It feels like it's almost guaranteed to not just be any old Cape trip, which does make the Cape a little bit more exciting.
And another thing that's exciting.
One other thing that really does excite me is being back in the Quartermaster, having left it over here in Queensland since March, Brisbane show. With the Quartermaster going to Cape York, it's very different to what I've used it for so far. I've taken this through some long desert runs, through severe heat, 50 degrees, and I have taken it through some hills to stretch its legs out on some slightly technical tracks. Nothing crazy, but I haven't taken it to the tropics where there's a lot of water crossings, a lot of mud.
How do you think the Quartermaster is going to go through some of the deeper water crossings?
I think it should do okay, only because raised air intake has been sealed at every joint. Hopefully that holds up. Had that not been done before coming here, I probably wouldn't be doing it because the water level is pretty high. You two behind the camera, you both told me this is the highest you've ever seen it. And you both expressed your concern about the Grenadier.
I think it's just because, yeah, we haven't really seen it go through any high water or anything like that, so
No, we haven't.
it'll be interesting.
Although you have water over the bonnet of the skip.
Do you think if it rains, you're going to be more nervous to do some of the bigger obstacles?
No, I think if it rains, I will avoid the obstacles where I can because I don't want to break a car before I even get in there. Will I do gunshot? I'd like to think I will. Just depends how stupid it looks, you know.
A few moments later.
Wish me luck.
My expectations of this track are somewhat judging a book by its cover. I can only go by what I've seen.
Expectation-wise, I'm hoping the highlight is just the challenge of the drive. I've seen on maps, there's E for easy, there's M for medium, D for difficult. It doesn't normally go any higher than that. But the teletrack, there's an X for extreme. Now, is that just because of the last river crossing being Nolan's really deep? And is it perhaps because of gunshot? Or is it the whole track? I don't really know. I really hope I don't come out the other side and I'm really just like, it's kind of what I've seen. And so if you go to a theme park and there's only one thing that excites you there, that's what I'm worried that this is going to be. I'm worried that gunshot's just going to be that roller coaster for me. And maybe that last crossing. I really don't want to come out the other end feeling like that.
What are you expecting the campsites to actually be like up there?
I don't expect that we'll get a private campsite. I think there will be other groups wherever we can. I spoke to a few locals and one of them mentioned that there are people already starting to head up to the Cape, noticeable amount of people. So to me it's like a noticeable amount of people. What does that mean in Queensland terms? It is early in the season, so I'm hoping that kind of mitigates that. But yeah, it is always a worry because worried about feeling a bit too rushed. You don't want to be holding people up. When I see other people get their drone in the air and they're flying around and you're like waiting for them. Hey, we need to get a drone in the air, see how far this goes. That shits me off too. So I don't want to be that guy. And when we're out, always try not to be that guy. We wait, they've moved on, or we won't get a shot here, we'll go somewhere else and get it. But on the Cape, I'm worried that that's not really going to be an option.
All right, last question. What obstacle on the OTT are you most concerned about?
Probably the final crossing, Nolan's crossing. Yeah, probably that one. And if I get a bit too excited and I decide to put this thing down Pumps Creek, that might not be the smartest thing to do. Let's see how excited I am when I get to the start of the track. But what I can say, if this trip is better than what I expected, then I'll want to see more around here.